Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about living in anarchy. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be talking about what it is to live out here in Mexico, aka living in anarchy, living in total freedom. You know, what I'm always talking about, what I'm always touting about, as to how awesome it is to live out here in Mexico with that total awesomeness and freedom, which again can be interpreted as simply anarchy. So speaking of that, let's turn the camera around, all right, and let's just keep it facing forward so you guys can see exactly what I see when I'm walking around, okay? And you're gonna see what I mean. I know a lot of you guys know exactly what I mean when I say living in anarchy and total anarchy, living in Mexico, as opposed to, you know, what it would be like to live in you know, another country like the US or Canada or Europe, where, you know, things are all very orderly and fashion, you know, in order. They're all in order. Things are all orderly and fashionably. I don't know, I can't speak English so good sometimes. Bruh. But anyways, the point I'm making is that, you know, one of the things that I really love about Mexico, that I enjoy so much about Mexico, is the freedom, the living in true anarchy. Because there's so many people out there that would consider themselves anarchist, so many people out there that say they're libertarian, so many people that talk the talk but they can't walk the walk, and other people out there, you know, which might consider themselves, you know, something else, you know, right, left, up, down, whatever, and they truly just don't understand that they're probably anarchists and that they love living in true freedom, like what it is to live out here in Mexico. So right now we're actually walking in the city of Merida, Yucatan, all right, and we are walking through the neighborhood of La Ermita, all right. It's a very highly coveted area to live in. It's basically living in the middle of, it's in the south, okay, South Central, so like the center part of the city, right in its centro. It's a little bit south of there, but out here in this area, you know, it's very highly coveted by expats that have moved in here and have really beautified the area, and other people that have moved in here and really beautified the area. So we're actually you know, just taking a quick little walk, all right, through this area now, so that you guys can see what it is to live in anarchy. All right, so let's just get into it, because a lot of times I'm always yappity yap, but I never get to the point until like way later on in the episode. So I'm actually out here just running a few errands. I just finished errand number 1, and now I'm walking around to errand number 2, and I got a few errands I gotta walk to. But yes, you know, right now we are walking. Let me see if I can maybe switch up and walk down here so you guys can see a little bit better. Kind of walking in the middle of the street here. But yeah, what does living in anarchy mean? Well, the fact that, as you can see, we got old buildings, dilapidated buildings, new buildings, you know, buildings that have been restored and looked at, you know, new, and you're gonna see more going this way, all right? You're gonna see even more change. But this is part of the anarchy that I'm talking about, that there is no homeowners association. There is no nosy Nancy telling you you got to do this or do that, that you can't be cooking meat on your backyard, or that you can't be painting your house a certain color, or that you can't have a car parked in front of your house, or what have you. And you know, this is one of the things that I love about Mexico so much, the fact that, you know, there's so little real government involvement in your everyday life, that you get to just live your life, you get to enjoy your life out here. Basically, the rule of thumb is, as long as you're not messing with anybody, as long as you're not bothering anybody, you're not really doing anything, committing a crime per se. So, you know, look, see, some houses are nice and taken care of. Very beautiful area. So, you know, I've been through this area many times before. I don't think this is this might be the first time I actually walk you through here, all right, and give you a quick little walk through here. We're gonna be doing a little bit of mini tour, since, like I said, I have a few errands I gotta run, so I might as well just give you a quick look while I talk about what's in my head at the moment. And you know, the topic of today's video is really just living in anarchy. And what does living in anarchy mean? You know, again, just a simple fact that, you know, the police officers are there to just be public servants and not there to be harassing and pestering you all the time. You know, the fact that, like, you know, it's basically everyone for themselves, and you got to learn how to survive. And it's not about having the government, having to rely on the government, or having to rely on anyone in order for you to survive and get things done. I'm just gonna stand here for a minute just so you guys can see a little bit of this area in this corner. In fact, this is a perfect opportunity. We're gonna see an ambulance coming by now. And in Mexico, anytime that you hear, look at this. Anytime that you hear any sirens, it's usually an emergency vehicle, very similar to an ambulance or a fire hydrant or whatever, you know. So this is La Ermita. This is basically La Ermita here, and it's already, again, if you go, we're gonna go later on, we're gonna walk back, you know, we're gonna walk around, but over there you're already seeing it starting to, well, you'll see it's already starting to get gentrified and all that good stuff. But this is the park of La Ermita here. All right, when we do the Day of the Dead celebrations out here, this is kind of like where it kind of culminates. All right, that's the Ermita Church, which is like the famous church of the area here. But I just wanted to give you a quick little 360 view of this area. I know a lot of you guys watch this channel for multiple reasons. Just want to give you a quick little tour of La Ermita. But like I said, we're going to be making our way back. All right, so we're just walking through this neighborhood for a minute while we talk about what it is to live in anarchy. Look at this guy right here. Not sure if he's selling flowers on the street, as they're, you know, you see them there, or if they are just there for decoration. But there's no real worry about anyone stealing those plants. You know, the thing is, it's a little hard to describe, you know, what living in anarchy really is when you're living in it and you enjoy it. But basically the best way I can really describe it is that you get freedom. You actually have freedom, and there's no restrictions. There's no police officer telling you what you can or can't do. There's no Karen telling you what you can or can't do. Basically how everything functions is through community, through you know, common sense, through you know, just what is it, you taking care of your neighbor taking care of you, everybody taking care of each other, and that kind of thing. Look, the other day, why I'm walking around, believe it or not, is because the other day I had a little bit of car trouble. It's getting fixed right now, but I had a little bit of car trouble, and I basically got stuck in the middle of a very busy street, of a very busy area. And without even thinking about it, when the car got stuck, immediately a bunch of people just came out of nowhere and just pushed the car, just helped me push the giant truck, you know, out of the way, to just keep traffic going, to keep everything going. And they didn't even think about it, you know, they just pushed the car before I even realized what was going on. And then they just went back to having their breakfast, you know. That's it, simple as that. And you know, it's just things like that that are pretty awesome, that I enjoy so much about living out here. You know, like the fact that that guy, even though he's working for that company, is not, you know, gonna get his vehicle reprimanded and get fired or whatever, all these things, just because he had black smoke. You know, that right there, you might think it's garbage and pollution, but that's actually for, you know, there's people that, you know, that are bums. There are actually people that live on the street here, just like in other places. But here, you know, this is the recycling. They just kind of like leave it out on the side of the road here, and then later on, in a little while, some guy will come on his bike and pick these up and recycle them and be on his way. But I like this neighborhood because, you know, again, it's getting gentrified. I don't even know what else to say, but that's basically what's going on over here. Look at this two-way street, which is pretty crazy, right? But anyway, so yeah, you know, the fact that, like, you know, in Mexico anything goes basically, and I love that and I enjoy that. And hopefully, you know, hopefully on the second part of this video I'll be able to be a little bit more vocal about the anarchy that I love so much. But again, it's just like, it's just random things that you're just constantly seeing that just are constantly awesome. And look, you know, for me, I'm from Miami. I was born and raised in the hood. I traveled all over the place. I lived in the nicest, fanciest places. I lived everywhere. But man, you know, there's just some charm, you know, about Mexico that it's just you can't even describe it. You can't even it's hard, you know, to really put your what is it, your grasp around it, unless you live here and enjoy living in these kind of conditions, you know. Like I said, you know, where you're more than happy to have a badass home like that and then have your neighbor be this, you know, like, and not worry about it. In fact, they probably get along and they're probably really great neighbors and they probably help each other out with all kinds of things. You follow me? It's just the simple things in life. The fact that, you know, I could have also taken the bus, you know, for 50 cents. As you guys can see, the bus is just driving down the street, and I could have just gotten on the bus and taken the bus. And how the buses are here. And by the way, have you noticed, this is a very, very, very busy area. This is South Central, literally South Central. And yet the traffic out here does not even compare to like when you see the traffic up in the northern section, in the north part of the city. Again, another reason why I hate the north and I enjoy these areas better, because even though this is a lot of traffic, and there's more traffic the more downtown you go, for obvious reasons. Downtown's that way, this is south, but there's more and more traffic as you you know, as you go north. But the reality is like out here, this is a lot of traffic for this area. And yet you see how the traffic is always flowing and moving, and it's a little bit more anarchistic as to the more north you go and the more Americanized, you know, the more modernized, the more first world it is, you know, the more you're gonna see all the stoplights and all the traffic and all the, you know, just everything, all the gridlock, every single thing that you hate from back home. Because I don't think anyone likes traffic and all that stuff. But again, out here you see it's just like random. Every single building is random as hell. Everything is random. That's like a cheese distributor, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? That's just a building for sale. Someone lives here and said, let's paint my house with color, and so on and so forth. So speaking of which, I think I'm already here, almost here. Anyways, all right guys, so I'm gonna kind of cut it here. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying this little tour so far of La Ermita area, and just a little random talk about anarchy. And we're gonna get back to talking about all that as soon as I'm done with my second appointment. Okay, second appointment. Such an important guy, this guy, huh? Just fucking. Anyways, all right, let's get back. All right, we're back. Let's continue making this video talking about anarchy, right? This video that's all over the place, just like the topic itself. So it's funny because as I was indoors right now talking to my friends, you know, we're just talking you know, kinds of random things, and we were just talking about the same subject, you know, the anarchy, you know, just like how some people love living out here. Some people, they love this environment. They love living in Mexico, you know what I mean? Just the fact that, you know, they're not bothered by all the awesomeness that make Mexico, and other people do come out here and they're just not happy with it because, you know, they want to continue living their first world lives. But anyways, so out here in Mexico, you know, everything runs on its own speed. And like I said, you know, out here, you know, rules and regulations, laws, you know, all those things, for the most part, you know, they're arbitrary, you know what I mean? They're not really enforced per se. You know, they're just more like suggestions. you know, like, hey, please don't do this, please don't do that. If you do this, you will have a penalty. If you do that, there will be another penalty. But a lot of times, like for example, like if you are texting and driving and you get in an accident, that's the penalty right there more than anything else, because the penalties are very severe. Same thing as, like, let's say you're speeding and you hit one of those magical speed bumps, you know, you're gonna be paying a lot more for the damage on your car than any ticket, you know, whatever, you know, how do I say this? You get a ticket, you get a speeding ticket. Most people get a speeding ticket and they're gonna keep speeding. Most people hit a speed bump at a very high velocity of speed, and the damage that is done to their automobile, and not just the damage that's done to their car, but also you know, what you might call it, like the cost of the repair and the experience, everything that just happens when you destroy your car by hitting a speed bump going at a very fast rate. That alone is more than enough to make sure that you never speed again. Imagine you're on a motorcycle going extremely fast and you hit a speed bump, and I can go on and on. So, you know, the thing is that most penalties are out here, they're dealt with by the locals, by the citizens, you know. So that's what I mean by anarchy, you know what I mean? Like if someone tries to steal something from you or robs you or what have you, it's up to you for you to be able to protect yourself, and for you to really, you know, make sure that the damage is limited. So again, you know, when a lot of people tell me, hey, I want to go to Cancun or I want to go to certain areas, but they tell me to stay in the touristy areas, is that true? And I'm like, well, I mean, again, by the way, this is the Ermita, the Church of La Ermita. So now we're going to be walking around this area so I can show you a little bit. But like, yeah, as I was saying, yeah, man, I think I should have gone the other way around. Whatever, it's okay. Look at the birds. But yeah, like I was saying, it's like if you're going to go to a dangerous area or a dangerous spot, you know, just make sure that you have, you know, you don't have all your valuables on you, you know what I mean? Just have a little bit of cash. Don't be taking your wallet with all your IDs. Don't be taking your a phone, iPhone 14, you know, maybe take like a dummy phone, you know, things like that. And I could go on and on, you know what I mean? Just use common sense, practice common sense. And that's the thing about living in anarchy, is that you got to be practicing common sense on a regular basis. And most people these days, you know, they don't even know what common sense is anymore, and they don't even know how to practice common sense. So that's why a lot of times, you know, they are just in shock when certain things happen out here in Mexico to them, and other people are not in shock because, well, I don't know, they were expecting it. They were just already, you know, it wasn't going to be like that big of a problem thing. But anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying today's little walk around the neighborhood as I ramble on about what it is to live in anarchy. And I think that the best way, honestly, to describe what it is to live in anarchy is to show you, is to just show you exactly what it is to live in anarchy. See, look, the police officers here, I'm never afraid of any police or any authority or anything like that out here. Okay, I think over there's like a little bit of a dead end. I don't want to go in a circle per se, so we're gonna turn around here. Okay. But yeah, you know, I'm not a person that's, you know, afraid of authority out here, because authority out here doesn't have that much power. They have very little power. All right, there's a lot of music, there's shit going on over there, so I'm gonna stay away. Let's go this way. All right, don't want to upset the YouTube algorithm gods with music in the background. But anyways, yeah, I'll just keep walking this way and we'll go from there. But anyways, again, I'm really just trying to show you this whole neighborhood, okay, and show you how things are out here. All right, so you guys can take a look at what anarchy really is. Yes, what I was gonna say, the best way to really describe the anarchy that I'm always talking about by living out here is to show you. You know, my words are not enough. In fact, most people can say is like, man, you've been talking to them for 15-20 minutes and you haven't said anything. So a lot of people can say that and will say that. And that's okay, I get it. But yeah, you know, when it comes to like the police and stuff like that in the USA, you're constantly scared and threatened and feel like you got to protect yourself from the police themselves. And you know, out here it's not like that at all. You know, they're actually out here to help you out, to protect you, to serve the community, to, you know, do all these things like they're supposed to do. And they're not here to harass you. And if they do harass you, you know, you have you have all the legal, you know, rights and everything to get away from all that. So yeah, I think all the kids are getting out of school right now. So this is like me, does a little bit of the gentrification that's been going on in this neighborhood here. I think this is a cafe or something. Not quite sure, but anyways, just wanted to give you a little walk through all here. But as you guys can see, we got cobblestone streets here. This is the gas guy. You know, they go through the neighborhoods, you know, screaming they got gas. So if you need gas, let's say you run out of gas, it's okay. If you need a taxi, just flag one down, so on and so forth. But yeah, you know, the anarchy out here, you know, where it's a free-for-all, constantly a free-for-all. And I love that. I love it, I love it, I love it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just everything about the life out here is a constant, you know, adventure. And yeah, so like I was saying, you know, when it comes to like the police and the cops, you know, they really are not much of a threat. You know, they're really, in fact, they're public servants. You know, if your car breaks down, they'll help you with your car. If you need any help, they'll help you with minor things. But don't be expecting them to actually do anything. You know, don't be expecting them to actually work. You know, don't be expecting them to be solving any crimes. Don't be expecting them to do, you know, again, just like you shouldn't expect them to be harassing you, you shouldn't be expecting them to harass anybody. And so that's the thing. It's about living in anarchy, where you're not really relying on the police. You're not really relying on a government. You're not really relying on anyone or anything. You're relying on yourself. And then depending on how you behave with the community and the people around you will depend on whether you can rely on them and they can rely on you or not. And that's how it works out here. And that's why some people love it and some people hate it, because I'm not a big fan of government. I'm not a big fan of people telling me what to do. I'm not a big fan of authority. And out here, I don't got to worry about any of those things, you know, at all, period, end of story. But some people, you know, they love their government. They love, you know, authority. You know, they love, you know, they love things to be in order. They can't handle something like this. Hola. They want things to be nice and orderly. You know, they can't handle like garbage on the side of the street waiting for the garbage man to pick it up. And that's what I'm saying. There's just basically two types of people. And for anyone out there that really wants to live in anarchy, that really wants to live freely, that really wants to live like a libertarian, that really wants to live that life, all you got to do is come out to Mexico and live in Mexico, and you'll see what it really feels like to live that way. Because again, so a lot of people walk the walk. I mean, a lot of people talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? And a lot of people, like I was saying earlier, you know, they don't even know. They hear these words like anarchy and you know, again, you know, small government, you know, all these words, you know, all the things, all the buzzwords I'm bringing up here. And they're like, oh no, those are all bad. We need to have some government. We need to have order. People can't live in anarchy. People can't live all crazy like that without any. And when they come out to a place like Mexico and they see how things actually run without any government intervention, any kind of you know, any kind of, you know, like I was saying earlier, you know, police authority or government authority or anything like that, you know, of you being told what to do by people that don't know better for you. And I can go on and on. When you actually live like that out here, you know, our country like here, you really quickly realize, oh wow, this is really the way to live. I could never in a million years not live like this. And that's it, you know what I mean? I think that kind of sums it up there. So look guys, you know, right now I'm all over the place because I'm just walking and talking about anarchy and not really making much sense, at least in my head. I hope, look at those birds there, I hope what I'm saying makes some sense. And if it doesn't, I sincerely apologize. But like I said, you know, I chose to cover today's topic, okay, while I was doing my walking and talking, okay, simply because I figured, you know, I was gonna walk through a certain neighborhood today, and the topic that I'm gonna be discussing, in many ways, it's just a lot easier if I were to just show you, and that's what we're doing here. So, you know, living in anarchy is basically just like living in Mexico and living the way that I am constantly showing you and telling you the way that I live, and I love it. You know, like I said, I was just visiting some friends right now, and they live out here in this neighborhood, and they just love it. They freaking love it. You know, they love living with the people. They love living out here. They love, you know, everything that is about life out here. And we were just talking about, you know, basically how we know people that live in the north of the city. They live in other parts of the city. And, you know, the north of the city is just, you know, like living in the USA or living in Canada. See, the north of this city, and just like any other Mexican city, you know, most cities are divided. You know, where there's one part of the city that's going to look like this and feel like this, and it's just going to be this. Everything you're seeing around you and seeing most of my videos, that's, you know, most Mexican cities are like that. And then the other half of the city is already all developed and nice, and it looks like, you know, you would find back home, anywhere back home. All right, meaning, you know, like the big open malls, areas, you know, everywhere you need to go, you need to have a car. You can't really get around unless you have a car. You can't really get around on foot. It's not really pedestrian or bike friendly. Everything is just bigger. You know, if you want to go to the mall, if you want to go to Starbucks, if you want to go to PF Chang's, if you want to go to any one of those first world you know, places, type comfort places or what have you, then you would 100% stay in the north. But if you want to live like most Mexicans live, if you really want to live the life of adventure every single day, where you could be having this walk yourself on a daily basis, then you would live out in the centro. You would live out in the south of the city, or in the periphery, you know, not in the periphery, but within the periphery of this city. You would live in areas like this, is what I'm saying. You know, there's all kinds of places you can live, and you know, living out here is just anarchy, as you guys can see. I don't know, look, I think right here what we're seeing is school. So the parents are picking up their kids from school right now. Look at this. There, you guys can see that. Just pure anarchy. Look, my God, right now I'm walking, and these cobblestones are kind of like falling apart. Wow. Wow. Yeah, they need to fix this road ASAP. So you see, this lady just lives out of her house and is selling things to the kids. And that's it. You know, now we're, again, as we're walking towards El Centro, and obviously you're going to be seeing so much more traffic and people and action going on. In fact, I think it's time for me to, you know, perhaps get my Uber and get home. I think we've had enough for today's episode. What do you guys think, huh? Let me just walk a little bit further out. Let's walk a little further out. Let's see if we can find a taxi or something. Take us home. Yeah, I know, I gotta bring my bike out again. It's been a while. But yeah, guys, you know, at the end of the day, you know, these are the things that I just love about living out here in Mexico, honestly. Oh, you know what? They got the park up ahead. Let's just go to the park. We'll end it there. I can probably get a taxi there. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like as I was saying, you know what I mean? Like, this is what it is to live in anarchy, to live in full freedom, to live in, look at this. I show this all the time. So obviously here at night, we get vendors, you know, and they just set up and they have electricity that they tap into for free from the pole, and they don't got to pay anything extra for that. So, you know, a lot of people always tell me as well, is like, oh, but you know, what about the cartels out there, and they're, you know, asking for people, you know, with asking for money from people, you know, for their business. Like if you set up a business, you know, they're going to be asking for extortion money, and let me cross the street here, they're going to be asking for this and asking for that and yada yada yada. And I'm like, yeah, out here the people that collect the money are the cartel. You know, back in the day, okay, so this is Parque San Juan. You know, back in the day, yeah, they got taxis over there. Let's just take a quick little walk around here. But back in the day, you know, the extortion used to come from the mafia, or out here, you know, still back in the day here, it would be the cartel, be the police, whatever. But when you are in, you know, when you're in the USA and Canada and whatever, you know, the people that are extorting you and coming to your business and asking for money and all this other stuff is the government. So again, you know, whether the guy comes in, you know, wearing regular clothes and is asking for the money for his boss, or the guy is wearing a suit or a government uniform and has a clipboard, it doesn't matter. Either or, they're both the same. And like I said, you know, at the end of the day, out here, anyone can post up and sell anything they want, whatever, you know, ice cream, food, you name it. And most people don't need to really have like a major license. They don't really need to have like a major they don't really need to have like a major whatchamacallit, like how do I say, it's like all these rules and regulations that they got to follow like they would in the USA or in Canada. You know, out here, anyone can have a business, and depending on where you want to post up, let's say the people here in the park, the people that want to post up here in the park, they're gonna have a regular business license, and then they gotta have a food handler's license. That's it. And then they might have to pay a little bit of a permission to fucking, you know, to set up here, you know, to work here, and that's it. And it's the same as it is everywhere else on the planet. Only out here, anyone can afford it. Anyone can afford these licenses. Anyone can afford to pay these fees, or these, you know what I mean? You know, whatever, the fees and the licensing and anyways, sorry, a little distracted there. Oof, hot. Anyways, but anyone can afford to set up a business out here. And yeah, all right, let's see, we got some music playing over here. Hopefully the music won't be too much of a distraction. But anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, so people just leave their bike running, all right, while they're, you know, getting their food or doing whatever it is, and they're not scared that anyone's gonna take it. You know, just things like that. Because if someone takes it, you know, just coming with an ass kicking most likely. And people, you know, they know. So yeah, out here it's just a different way of life, and I totally enjoy it a lot more living out here in this total freedom. This is, you know, right now it's like basically noon, and we're just walking around El Parque San Sebastian, and just seeing the people do their thing, and that's it. So I think we're gonna get to the taxi, and then we're gonna just end it and go from there. So hope you guys are enjoying a little walking and talking today, as I show you anarchy, as I show you the insanity of what it is to live out here, and why I love it so much, and why it's not for everybody. You know, some people just cannot handle having this in their backyard. I love it. So let me see, let's get ourselves a taxi. Let's go ask for some prices, and we'll go from there. She was just serving breakfast. She's out of here already. Hola, güey, ¿cuánto para ir a... Oh, ¿cuánto? Sí, allá la... 60 pesos. Está bien, okay. All right, let's get into taxi. Let's get the hell out of here. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Here, check this. Look at that. I never give you this view before, so let's do it here. So, all right, guys, you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit the bell icon. Don't forget to, you know, leave a donation down there if any of these videos have been of any help to you, all right, or anything like that. All right, let's get the hell out of here. See you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.